And this trade will play out if NQ stays strong. If it doesn't stay strong, it's not going to work out. I was bullish on ES to pretty much the same PT I have on NQ, except it's a lot further away because it flipped weak. But that's what I got at the moment. You're already. Only for this last week. Or I'm not trading. Never mind. I'm not trading on TradingView. It's just linked, so you can see like one of my accounts trading. Here's an interesting question. Why are my orders not showing on my TradeAvate tab? Oh wait, there they are. Never mind. Stupid. I'm not a. We'll see if this candle closes with a selling wick. I'm not gonna have a ton of hope. Otherwise, I do really like this trade setup. It would be a shame if it doesn't work out. But yeah, every like for those of you that are watching my screen, market opened. I had some bullish bias. Entered SPX calls here. They chopped to hell from the start. It was like an impossible trade. Um, they just absolutely just chopped right at open. Even though I would have been green if I were on futures, they just chopped so bad. So that one was not a surprise at a loss, and the dump wasn't a surprise either. So I lost on that one. Not a lot though, because I actually trimmed half for slight gains because the chop was so bad. I'm like, this is terrible. I just want to be out. So I sold half. Not the whole thing because the hypothesis was still going, and sometimes you might get a squeeze or an unexpected whatever. Um, by the way, for all you guys in YouTube, this is the trade that I'm in. I like it. Kind of not. I wasn't very disciplined about the 10-second rule on this trade. Um, I would have been in anyways, but I think the reason for that is because this trade, like NQ was shooting up. I really like this trade, and I was for whatever reason more attached to getting into this trade and not missing it. But regardless, I'd be in anyways right now, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, yeah, that was my first trade, and then NQES perfect double bottom here. I'm like, well, that's a good dip buy opportunity. Went half size, added on this candle. Um, and then I was late to. I should have stopped out at 7:45 my time, 9:45 Eastern. That's when I'm supposed to stop out. But I couldn't believe that we were just squeezing all the way back up. I'm like, is this really happening right now? Like, this is so bizarre, so bizarre. So I had that entire candle delay. That was the error. I didn't need to lose as much money as I did. I should have stopped out one candle before. But anyways, I stopped out and immediately got back into calls. Tried again on my original hypothesis, and it was supply breaking. So this pivot clearing on ES. Got there, sold it. That was a nice gain. Was still red on the day though, just by a little bit, because this was a larger than what it needed to be loss, and then I had that tiny loss there, and then this massive candle happened, filled back into puts on both KikiQ and SPX, half in each, of course. Sold it when NQ broke demand, and then I'm like, okay, well that's a second attempt for that. We came back down, test demand, and I filled KikiQ puts right as it validated most of the move. Not the best entry, but it's whatever. I went half size, same thing to add. I end up averaging down, but it didn't. I added puts at the same location I entered. It's just they chopped a bit, and of course it stopped me out, and then right back down, filled it, boom. So yeah, it was just very bizarre morning. It looks like NQ's like trying to stay away from my PT right now. I don't know what's up with these selling wicks. That's five big selling wicks in a row. I don't know what's up with that. Let me document this trade real quick. It looks pretty good. And this PT's pretty close. You could extend it further out, but I don't want to do that. I don't know what's going on today. Today's a weird day. I do like the volatile, it's volatile enough in it because it's getting to pivots. It's hard for me to not make money. It's just the win rate's not going to be very good because it got to this pivot, I'm going to make money. Got to this pivot, going to make money, and then it cleared this pivot, going to make money on that. But so it could have been a lot worse. And there's PT. I told you guys right in the beginning. This trade is why I hopped into voice early, 10 minutes earlier than usual. That's why. Which may have hurt my psyche a little bit because, like I said, I entered uh, before the candle closed on this one, and I said I'm still bullish for ES to get to here. You could extend your PT out, but I don't know what it's going to do in the middle of this range, and I don't really have any other PTs. I mean, obviously I have this one on NQ, which is a nice PT. Um, but in order for me to play it, what I'm thinking needs to happen is it's going to need to come up, do this, and then I'll enter. Similar to the trade I just took. But that's the trade I have. I don't have anything else besides that. That's why I started this stream earlier. Um, Unfortunately, I closed my Thinkorswim right before this, like more than half of this squeeze happened, so I couldn't take calls as well. But whatever. Type in chat if you guys made money on that. It's pretty much the only thing I said right when I came in Discord voice, which was a little bit before the YouTube live was. I got 637 on NQ after that. I don't know. Take off that. Let me catch up on my rules and stuff real quick. Like rushed in here for that trade, so I'm behind on my journal. By the way, all you guys that I owe money from Guru's giveaway yesterday and a little bit of the quiz, I'll send that right after I get out of trade, live trading today. Also, react to the message in the promo center. I'm giving away 300 bucks, so $50 to 6 people. Or I may allow you guys to vote for $25 to 12 people since so many people are participating. I think that might be a little bit better, but typically you guys vote for the 50 bucks. So everyone react in the promo center channel. I'm gonna do those drawings after live, um, after live trading. On one of my monitors, and then the top one is a 5120-ish something. Um, my computer can't run it, like it's not an option to run both at that max res. So I have both at 120 hertz. I could run the top one at 240. I don't know why my bottom one doesn't, but anyways, yeah, just run both at 120. The bottom one I like having the really high resolution because it's a little everything's a bit smaller, but I could do this right here. And for trade sims, no one can read the price. So it's actually pretty neat. And then my top screen, because it's further away, I'm fine with the bigger resolution. Just change the text size. Yeah. I can't enter here. It's kind of a pivot on NQ. But I can enter though because I'm still bullish on ES to get to here, and it's made three lower highs. Um, and you really could enter NQ long to this high, because I'm bullish for ES to get to here. By the time ES gets to here, NQ's probably gonna be up here. I'm still gonna sit it out though. I didn't want to enter long on this. I wanted NQ to come up here, then retrace, and then me enter. If we dip a lot more and then come back up and ES shows that and NQ's still stronger than ES, I'll take NQ. Otherwise, I may just take ES instead. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, sweet. Yeah, don't give me credit though. Someone in the server told me that, and it was good, very good. Because this resolution was way too hard for everyone to see like the numbers and stuff. Perfect PC price. I try. Oh wait, you bought the monitor, dude? Yeah, so that's how that resolution is. I don't on Discord, change your text size on Discord. That's gonna make a big difference. Um, so like on my bottom screen, I have like here for example, like I have my trading view, 2/3 of the screen, Discord, the right third, and then I have about half the screen, either on the top half of the top screen centered is Thinkorswim or Tradeovate, whatever I'm trading, and then on the right side is YouTube, and then on the left side is open for whatever I want to have. So I have it set up as pretty much five monitors of different sizes. It's pretty good, but I went with the Ultra arm. I had to bolt it through my desk, which is fine. But you could also clamp it. I just couldn't clamp with this desk, so it works with glass. It's like on the thing, it clamps. Yeah, five big screens. No, it's two really big screens, but I have it set up in five sections. All right, here's the question, guys. If NQ goes all the way back up, do I enter longs? I don't know. Because again, I'm bullish for ES to get to this blue line. It's made three lower highs. Okay, so it hasn't swept them. By the time NQ gets up to there, I'm thinking ES will be up here. So I'll be bullish for ES to get to here. By the time ES gets to there, NQ is going to be at here. Do we think NQ is going to make that extra push to that blue line without retracing? I don't know, but right now, the bigger the dip, the better. I want it to go down because that takes the decision making. That takes away my thinking. Kind of looks like NQ starting to catch back up to ES strength wise. Looks like it's kind of weak. What a good PT. KQQ 518 puts. Yeah, nice anymore. And I cannot believe that this morning was so bizarre. It was like clockwork. It was like bound to happen. I'm gonna stop out at the first attempt, and I'm gonna make it all back plus some on the second attempt, which is annoying because I don't want a 50% win rate. But green is green, I guess. So far, futures has not been that way. But I'll be on for probably an hour, maybe a little bit more. Change up the schedule a little bit. I'm doing the back testing private, except today. So on days where we have psych lessons, I'm not doing the back testing because sitting in voice and actually paying attention for that long is pretty difficult. But I think next week I'm gonna move the trade reviews to right after I'm done live trading. That way it has time to post to YouTube and stuff. And all of last week's recording, if you want one, you can specifically request it. Otherwise, it's kind of late to post on YouTube, so I can start fresh this week and try again to be on top of that. Guru, what trade did you take, by the way, this morning? The longs when it invalidated both that drop. Oh, you took the reversal? Yeah, I feel way. Right, right. Oh, you took NQ? Oh, dude, that sucks. To be fair, I did think ES looked a little bit weaker there at the end, like on that last red candle, because NQ put more of that reversal candle in. Right, right. Yeah, you just fill on that first green candle. Yeah. Right. All right, it looks like ES is kind of being stronger now. Yeah, it is. This is the trade I'm thinking about taking. It's a much smaller trade, 1-to-1 risk to award. The problem is we have a potential head and shoulders here on ES, so I don't know how much I like it. I'm down to take it. I mean, it's a valid trade. I'm hoping NQ can keep pushing it down more because ideally I want the head and shoulders to play out before I'm triggered into longs. But ES's strength right now is looking pretty good. I'm probably going to take it. Oh, that's a nice candle close. Yep, I have to take it. We'll see what happens. I don't really have a choice. I kind of have to get in on that candle. That's the 1-to-1. I think I can move it up just a little bit. I could do there. It's a fine trade. I just didn't really. I wanted NQ to pull it more down. It's valid though. We'll see what happens. Looks like ES is trying to be weaker, not by much at the moment. The buying wick happened too early. I don't know if it's going to close with this buying wick. I wanted this buying wick to happen in the last 20 seconds, not the first 20 seconds. Move my stop loss up just there. There we go. 1.06 risk to reward. It's barely acceptable. I'm kind of hoping that ES is strong enough that by the time NQ gets to this high, ES could be at PT. Yeah, that's looking a bit too optimistic though, because ES isn't showing a ton of strength on this candle. You're just kind of matching NQ. Yeah, Rakai, I saw your DM by the way. I'll answer in a bit. I think you DM'd me, did you not? Yeah, you did. That's weird. I haven't noticed that. I'm just glad the indicator shenanigans are over. That was hell. Everyone thought it was because WAP's done that before. Like they've updated and you need to reclaim access, but it only happens like once every 6 months. All right, NQ got to the nearest pivot, which is a problem because ES isn't there yet. So this is pullback area here, and ES is still far from my PT, so it's not looking too hot. And that is why it's not looking hot because we just swept. I can move my stop up just a little bit more. Did you guys talk about the risk management rules you use? I can just read off mine for futures. Options, it's pretty much the same. I don't have as strict, um, but I'm trading for a much more limited time on options, so it doesn't really give me a lot of time to mess things up. But as far as my futures rules, I do 6 trades max, 2 hours max, hard stop loss mandatory immediately after entering each trade, no averaging down allowed whatsoever with futures. Only one trade at a time, so I can't be in NQ and ES at the same time. One trade at a time. I only trade alerts, which means if I didn't alert it, I'm not taking it. That's a big one for me. Like that is a big one for me. No continuation on pivots, which isn't. It's more of a technical one. And then check size every single day before I trade. That's a huge one as well. Massive one. I've had times where I've had, God, like last summer, for example, 10 PAs requested payout, 20K payout. And I'm like, okay, well, that's done. So I'm going to drop to half size, five micros. So I changed my size to 5, but I didn't switch to the micro chart. And I entered with 5 NQ minis and immediately went to Mind Freeze, blew the account in like 8 candles. So, yep, that's a big one for me as well. I'm not liking these selling wicks here. And ES just swept a higher high again. So, we're pretty far away from PT. It's not looking like that selling wick is going to invalidate right now. It looks like it needs to dip back down and then it might have a chance, but that's looking like not good. And right as I say it, it flips bearish. It was close. I said I needed ES to stay strong, but it did not do that. Yeah, that's it's a guaranteed stop loss right there. Well, it was an awesome attempt. But he has sold me there with that first major selling wick. All right, I needed to drop a lot if I'm going to re-enter longs. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to get in. I knew that level would be such a big issue on NQ. It is a nice PT for the future. I want ES to sweep this low all the way down here before it even tries coming back up. I'm not really willing to enter shorts when it invalidates most of the move. I'll enter shorts if it does something like this. Even if it goes up right now, I don't think I'm going to enter. Like I could. I do not want to, though. It did sweep a lower low, though. I don't know. It just seems like ES is weaker again, though. Because NQ's a long entry here. Damn it, I think I'm going to have to enter. That candle's like just like the last time. That candle's just bullish enough to get me in. Yep. All right. This is the only other attempt I'm giving this setup. only because it's been on par with how today's been. Better risk to award. It's acceptable. You know, it swept the lower low. We'll see. Good stop loss though. You guys saw I creeped my stop loss up a bit, and the hypothesis was with that if it hits my stop loss, it's gonna hit my initial one. So I was able to save a little bit, which made that last loss pretty small. That last loss was less than half of my first win. Let's still give this like a 3.5 out of 5 DA. That's not good. Was looking fantastic, just like the last trade was, but all of a sudden wasn't. After another huge selling wick. Yeah, this is not good price action here. This is not very tradable. The only way I enter longs again is if we sweep this all the way down here and then come all the way back up to the same entry area. But that's going to stop out. Another green to red trade. If that entry candle was any less bullish, I would have been able to sit out, but just like the last trade, it was just big enough to kind of force my hand. Just on my phone waiting for this trade to stop out. Honestly, I'm thinking I'm gonna miss out on this. I feel like it can just sweep my stop and go right back up, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm only willing to enter back long if it gets all the way down to this low and then comes all the way back up, and then I'd be willing. Otherwise, I'm not really willing to trade in this range. The second hour of the day working its magic. My last trade hit PT 1 minute before the second hour started, and since the second hour started, it's been nothing. So I'm thinking I might not get anything until the third hour. Yeah, and ES flip's strong too. I don't think it's gonna go that low, but we'll see. It'd go pretty low. That's good. It is pretty much. It is a good amount weaker. Just the thing is, I don't want to enter longs if it goes back up. And that may be the time that, because already NQ stronger, I'm thinking NQ is going to go back up, and then I could get in a long right here, but I don't want to get stuck in this range, so I'm going to wait. I don't want to trade much in the second hour. It's not doing good. Unless all of a sudden I get the most bullish candle ever, and then it's going to force my hand into one more long right here. I would not be surprised if that happens, because that's a reversal candle there with very nice volume. NQ's a lot stronger than. Damn, am I gonna have to? I don't know if I want to sit out. I really don't know. Because that's the most bullish sweep candle I've had this entire time. A reversal trade right here isn't even bad. I'd consider it. Actually, I'd very much consider it. I think I'll take it on NQ, but have a very, very tight stop. Yeah, I'm having a very tight stop just at the bottom of this candle. This is probably the last trade I'll take in the second hour. Unfortunately, I just got the world's worst fill. Pretty much filled based on the last candle because I was supposed to get in on that last candle, but I delayed it a bit, unfortunately. It's a terrible, terrible entry there. Really, I mean, I guess PT would be here. Um, I guess it would. It was a really bad fill. That was my bad. That was terrible. That was not my best moment. We have another trade that's going to go green to red or what? I'm feeling it. The second hour has not given me anything, and unfortunately, looks like NQ is actually flipping weaker than ES now. When it was strong, the sweep itself was stronger, good by a good amount. It's a bearish enough candle. It could make a lower low, but if that candle validates, this is short squeeze potential here. Every single bounce is getting invalidated too much. I'm thinking shorts are going to get squeezed out. Just it's looking like it's going to stop me out before that happens. The question is though, if we do go up, I don't know. I mean, I could trail a stop all the way up to this PT. Cuz I mean, we chopped down a lot and clearly there's a lot of shorts that entered up in this area. Um up in this area on ES. And if we were to start breaking through this area with how many times we rejected from that area, I can totally see a continued squeeze and a break to the upside and actually a run. Because I mean, to me, this higher high really screws it up, but this looks like a very wonky bull flag. Or I can just put my PT here. I don't know, invalidated that red candle, which is great. Huge signals of a short squeeze. How far will it go, though? That's the question. I don't know, because before this trade, I'm technically red on the day by a whopping 20 bucks. Entry really should have been. That bugs me so much. It should have entered on 853. I just hesitated just a little bit. It would have looked like a much cleaner trade if I did that. More shorts entering. If they keep invalidating, this is going to look great, but we're going to need buyers to buy along with this trend. But yeah, see, it's invalidating again. This is giving all the right signs. And ES even swept exactly where I wanted it to. I think NQ is going to beat ES to this high, but um, hmm, I'm not going to put a hard PT here. I think I'm going to wait. The second NQ hits this PT, I'm putting my stop to break even, and I'll look to sell when ES gets to my 60-64 PT. And by that time, I don't know. You see, there's still more short stepping in here, so this can turn around at any moment. But if these selling ways keep invalidating, we can seriously go on a run to this high. I'm not one to be an optimist while I'm in a trade, though. It looks like they're going to get there at the same time. Uh, Tough decision. Yeah, NQ's starting to flip weak. I'm just gonna go with the hard order. It's struggling to even get there. I'm thinking there's more than likely, it's probably gonna do something like this. With NQ starting to flip weak here, you guys could choose to extend your PT out. For me though, it's now NQ's kind of flipping weak. ES flip strong. You know, that's not good. But if NQ invalidates this selling week on the next candle, I think it's going to go past my PT. I'm just thinking with the way the strength is set up right now, NQ is likely to do something like this. And then I can re-enter longs if it curls back up. Well, that's what a bearish shooting star looks like on ES. It wasn't a red body, but as I might extend the PT. Because right now it looks bad. It looks like it's trying to go to my stop loss, but if it invalidates, I'm thinking it's going to go a lot further than my PT. Because that's just going to be more shorts that are entering right now that'll get squeezed out. Obviously, if it gets my stop, it doesn't matter. But if it can somehow go back up, I think extending the PT is the move. But no, it looks like it's going to get to my stop loss. I was going to say possible inverse head and shoulders, but this candle's way too big to think that. NQ flipped so weak there. That is so unlucky. See, if I entered on ES, I wouldn't even be close to my stop loss yet. Let's see. If I entered ES, my entry would be like right here. Man, this second hour shit, guys. I'm not able to get anything. Just a bunch of green to red trades. Great entries, but not getting anything. Eventually, I'm going to call it quits on this time of day. I hate this time of day. NQ is so weak now. That's so annoying. You know, it keeps flipping. It goes from super strong to weak once it gets to this level, and it did it again here. I was hoping that the third time would be the time that that doesn't happen, but it did unfortunately happen. I do very rarely, Panama. Too big of a psych risk for me. It can, man, NQ is way too weak, guys. I'm thinking this trade's probably gonna stop out. It's so weak. It's not looking good. This is my third attempt at longs though, so if it sweeps my stop and goes back up, unfortunately my rules I cannot get back in. Even though I think that'll be the time that it does it, I'm not gonna be able to get back in. The second hour is spoken. That was a bearish candle open on this candle. I'd be surprised if this candle holds green. That's a perfect trend line on ES. Wow, this candle is trying to hold green. It's a lot of shorts to squeeze out. There's a lot of shorts to squeeze out if this somehow goes all the way back up, as I was saying before. When it barely misses my stop loss like that, I pretty much automatically assume it's going to stop out until it gets to my PT, just because it's so bad for your psych if, you go from this trade exactly, bright green, barely miss your stop loss, comes all the way back up to finally give you hope again, and then take it away and crush it. That's not good for your psych. I don't even want to think about it going all the way back up because I feel like I'm going to jinx it. But if it goes all the way back up, that's so much shorts to squeeze out. Do we think it's going to run out of this range and continue to my next pivot? Because that would be grounds to extend the PT. I don't think I'm going to still because ES is going to get to that PT before NQ gets there. And the sad thing is, unfortunately, in order for NQ to get to my PT, I'm going to need ES to get like all the way up here, it looks like, which is a big issue. Because I'm not really expecting. ES could do that. I'm not. It's hard. That's a hard thing to expect. We did put in a double fake prophecy on this compression here on ES. We could. I could see it. Not to be hopeful or anything, but I mean, we were compressing this entire time. Faked one way, faked the other way. Plus a perfect trend line. This has so much potential again. I don't know what to do. I want to extend my PT, but I don't because NQ is so much weaker. It's hard enough for NQ to get to the first one. I don't think I'm going to, but this has serious potential. What I'm thinking is if I'm lucky enough for NQ to get to my PT, unfortunately, it's still hella far away. Like I'm getting scammed here. This freaking sucks. Yeah, it sucks a lot actually. I'm not happy at all. If NQ can somehow move its ass and get to my PT, I'm thinking a long reentry somewhere up here on a small pennant or something to play it to this high. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. Or if you want, you could extend your PT and move your stop loss to break even once it hits this level, but NQ is just too much weaker than ES. Unless they get there at the same time, then that's a strong possibility. It is very hard for me to not extend my PT right now, but I'm not going to do it. ES beat it to my pivot. I need ES to go one more tick above. There it is. So that's ES PT hit if you took ES. I kind of wish I did. I would have made a little bit more, and it would have been a much less stressful trade because it didn't even get close to where my stop loss would have been. And just a better risk reward overall. But at the time of entry, NQ was, it did look. It did look stronger here. 853. Yeah, it did. Yeah, NQ's too much weaker. I'm not going to extend it. We'll see if it can get there. But this does have potential to run. Like it's looking like the direction may be up for the rest of this hour. Or back in that huge area of resistance where it's rejected pretty much every time. Let's hope ES doesn't sweep this pivot. Yeah, of course, Mike. I'm naturally optimistic, like as in confident. Yes, yeah. I try not to be though. Like whenever like I want a trade to work out, I try to watch the way I talk and just be cognizant of it because it's really easy to slip and start getting attached to your trade when you start getting really optimistic. Um, but there are times I enter a trade, I'm like, this shit's great. The first trade I entered right when I got in here, the first thing I said in here, I'm bullish to 637 on NQ, 21 637. That's what I'm bullish for. And immediately called it out. That trade was great. Very confident from the beginning. Anyways, I'm almost back up to high day P&LY. So you could have chose right here to move your stop to break even and extend your PT out. Not a bad decision at all. Like, not at all. I see a lot of potential. There are so much short. Like, look at all the short invalidations that happened. Like, this can run. The thing that did it for me though is NQ is just weaker than ES, and ES is already all the way up here. It's hard for me to be optimistic about the PT. Usually, I'll do something like that where I move my stop loss up and extend my PT out a bunch. If extending my PT out doesn't decrease the odds of it getting to my PT by much. And I feel like if I extend my PT out on this particular trade with the way NQ is weaker and all that, it hurts the odds of the trade too much to where I'm not willing to. But usually you guys will see me extend my PT out way before it even gets to my first PT because I don't think, in my mind, if it gets to the first PT, I think it's probably going to get to the second one as well. I don't think that for this trade, so we'll see what happens though. Back to 50% win rate though, you gotta love it. If I can get one more green trade, I'll be happy. I'll be happy if I can get one more green trade. Because that means I'd be green on the day by pretty much 2 trades, which isn't bad. That's starting to be fairly bullish for NQ though. I can't re-enter unless it goes near it and dips, but that looks pretty good if you decided to hold. Very tough decision whether to hold or not. I don't think there's a really wrong decision. I think both avenues were pretty warranted. But also for me, it was a little bit easier to not hold because my day was just went from green to red. So it's not like I was already pretty green on the day to where I'm not really risking anything. Like if anything, I'll just give profits back. Like Friday's trading, for example. Friday I took that huge reversal trade, wasn't a problem, and I just extended my PT like very far. I think that trade was like 90 points. No, not at all. It was like 270 ticks or something. So whatever that is, um, like 70 points. But that was easy because the context of the day I was already green. So what is your psych grade for this one? This one was a 4 out of 5 psych. The first trade got a 4 out of 5 because I rushed into it just a little bit. The last two were 5 out of 5. The only reason why this was 4 out of 5 psych is because um, it's pretty near perfect psych. The only reason why it was 4 is just because I wasn't really feeling the trade that much. It just didn't seem absolutely flawless. There wasn't like any risk there. It's not like I didn't want to stop out or anything, but it just wasn't like perfectly flawless. Maybe like a 4.5 out of 5 is what I give it. That's bullish on NQ. Looks like NQ's flipping stronger than ES. It's just I didn't want to enter. I'm not entering on for the same reason I didn't want to re-enter longs here, even though I kind of did on ES. Um, I don't want to enter longs here. I'd much rather enter up here, but honestly, it's looking like I'm probably going to miss it. With it consolidating now, I don't think the likelihood of it, if it does break to the upside, I think it's probably going to wait until it gets to the pivot to pull back, and then that trade's going to be pretty much over. Same thing on ES. I wanted it to get up here, reject, and then I can hop in. The question is though, what do you guys think about this? If we drop right now after sweeping liquidity, shall I enter shorts to this low? It's a very warranted trade. I mean, you get higher highs, you got a liquidity sweep, you invalidated most of the bounce, and on top of that, you have higher lows as well. I don't think I'm going to though. I'm not going to get to that one. Just because of how these shorts kept getting invalidated, I think there's too high of a chance that this ends up being a bull trap and we bounce. Maybe for head and shoulders and then we come down, or we just go back up. But what I will say is if we do come down, whether we miss it or hit PT and come back up, I'll be back in for this high. But nothing's high probability enough right now for me to re-entry. I think I'm going to miss this this run to 676. Hell Money Enterprises, yeah, I just now saw your text. Nah, I decide not to. Hurt the odds too much. I don't doubt that it's gonna get there, but it hurt the odds too much. I only extend my PT when I think it hurts the odds very, very little. It's not bad. Yeah, it's usually 5 Panama. NQ looks a little bit stronger than ES, but it's more so just catching up. ES has been stronger. I don't know. I mean, I could see a rising wedge. I don't really expect it to play out on NQ. It's there, but it's not. It's this oscillation. It doesn't really count. So I think this is a fairly low chance of playing out. Still kind of lean. I'm leaning for it to get to this PT, but I do want it to dump. That'd be sweet if it dumped. This trade. Yeah, sell gets a check mark. It delayed it long enough to where it was a good sell. Even though it's not necessarily bearish yet, it could be. It means just sweep the highs, and here was the rising wedge I was thinking. That I was watching. I don't think it's if it does break to the downside, I don't think it's because of the rising wedge. I think it's because of just the liquidity and just the supply and demand of that level. But there it is. Even if we come back up, I don't think I can enter long because like I wanted the dip to happen up here. If it got to here and then started dipping, I'd be preparing to re-enter, but it did not. So it's looking like if I'm gonna enter longs, it's gonna need a dip to like here. It's gonna need to dip to here or below and then come all the way back up, which is pretty unlikely to happen. So it looks like I'm gonna sit on my hands for a while. Sonky, this is not what I expected. Yeah, it's a little weird. You know, the inauguration just happened yesterday, and the second hour price action is brutal. And I don't really think there's a way I could have avoided that chop. I mean, it's the candles I entered on were really bullish. I mean, there was this one right here and then this one here, both of which had, you know, they were bullish enough to where it continued after I entered. I don't really think there's much I could have done to avoid that chop. Sometimes it just kind of happens. The NQ's back to being weaker. So if you do decide to short, NQ is the way to go. I'm not entering short though. You could enter a reversal trade, but you would have needed to enter 2 candles ago and it'd be extremely low probability. Good risk to reward though. Up roast behind the dip. Yeah, that's right, Team Monroe. Essentially, yeah, I want to see a ton of sellers get in. I want them to dump price action back down, ideally all the way to buy side liquidity. So a bunch of buy orders are filled, a bunch of sellers are in, and then those sellers get validated. And I'm thinking the size of the drop can warrant the size of the run, right? So if we drop all the way to here and invalidate that drop like this, I'm thinking, you know, that could be enough sellers to squeeze us to my PT. But I got to watch how it dips. If it doesn't dip in a very bearish manner, then that's good. But if it like just all of a sudden gets one of these candles, all the way down to here, that's going to be pretty bearish. So I'm going to be looking for a stop loss rate after that. But ES still looks good. I wanted to enter ES longs more up here. I didn't want to enter in this area of unknown direction. ES does look good to keep working up, but nothing for me right now. I'm going to hang out on my phone until something interesting happens. All right, ES looks like it's ready to break to the upside. I can't enter, man. I needed it. I needed that consolidation to enter, to happen earlier. It's a bit too likely for NQ to just sweep that high and come back down. You could enter, it doesn't look terrible to keep going up, but now I'm starting to see a more serious potential rising wedge happening on NQ, which is just a bit too low probability of a trade for me to take. And everyone, if you're in here and have not reacted to the message and promo center, go do that, and you'll be entered for today's giveaway just by reacting to that message. I'll be doing probably the first round in probably like 2 hours, right before I leave, maybe at 11 my time, and then I'll do the second three winners of $50 right around market close. So react to that message in promo center, and I may actually have another promo deal later this week. So we may do two. It's possible that we could do two this week. But the reason why I give back so much is because you guys seeing those messages and reacting to them are the only reason why I keep getting those deals. So that's why it's not a premium only giveaway. It's everyone. So Did I hear free money? Where do I react? It's in the promo center channel in my Discord. We give away so much money in this place. Like, we really do. Like, and it's funny, we don't even like it. We have too many people flipping profitable now, just giving money back to the community. Well, we're averaging like $400 in giveaways a week. And more than half of it isn't even me that's doing it. It's awesome. I am using the large. Wait, both my monitors are the large ones, Viper. Wish I can skip through the candles. I wish so too, Jebs. That'd be so nice. That'd be so nice. But like I said, that's why I couldn't enter long there. ES looked like it was going to break that high, but afterwards, it's hard to say. That's a rise. I mean, it's definitely a rising wedge on ES. I can see a bigger pullback. What do you think about the Ferrari F80? I think it's hideous. I think it's ugly. I know a lot of people like are raging that doesn't have a V8, but like the Ferrari hypers. So you got the F40, the F50, the LaFerrari. Those cars, they always have the same motor and stuff that the Ferrari race cars do. So like this year, it's been the V6 hybrid, or as of lately, they've switched pretty much all their race cars to the V6 hybrid setup, the twin turbo V6 hybrid, and that's why the F80 is that. I think it's ugly though. I think it's the F40, F50, and Loft will hold more value than that car. The W1 is cool. But the cars just look a little bit like this round of Trinity. It looks a little bit like too much like Transformers for me, and not like it's not as artistic, and it's not supposed to be this time. It's more just like performance, speed, and whatnot. But yeah, I don't like it. The W1's okay though. It kind of looks cool. I don't like the. I think the wing's kind of ugly, but it serves a purpose. It's not really a looks thing. I may do that this year, Ryan, but I have way too many other priorities at the moment. And they're slow as hell too, Ryan. They're slow as hell. They're only good for noise and rose presence. They're really slow. What's on your list? Well, my next car will probably be an SVJ, but it's just because my friends have one and it'd be cool to match, I guess. ES is already retracing this drop. We're chopping up, which is fairly bearish, but NQ's chopping down. I'm starting to think ES may just be bullish for new high of day. Because these charts are going opposite directions. It's either NQ shorts or ES longs. And you could do it. I hate how I don't know why he keeps doing this for me, but anyways. Like, you could do it. It's not far away from high of day, but it's just not probable. I don't know what it wants to do yet. A says, I've been listening to Mark Douglas and Tom Hagar on YouTube since you pointed me in that direction. I've revived my account back to where it sat months ago before the 75% drawdowns. That is fantastic. Congratulations, sir. It's still only the beginning. Jebs, you choose your own numbers, brother. I think. I've never actually played the Powerball, but don't you choose your own numbers? Or is it random? Like, I know some you like scratchers, obviously you don't choose, but the big lotteries, I think you choose your numbers. Yeah. Why play the lottery when you can get rich at the casino instead and get free drinks? Okay, do I enter longs if NQ invalidates most of bounds? It didn't drop as much as I wanted it to, but I mean it's a falling wedge, guys. Like, this is a falling wedge, a bullish falling wedge at that, and I think NQ's a not really a falling wedge, more of a flag. You know what? I can't do it. If it was a falling wedge, I probably could, but I can't. I need it to act as a reversal pattern, and this bull flag is as long as the entire first leg. It's too unlikely, unfortunately. Yep, nope. Flags are only continuation patterns. I would need this to be a reversal pattern, but because it's a continuation, I have to take this leg into consideration. And this first leg was 9:01 to 9:14, was 13 minutes. And this flag is longer than 13 minutes, and it's retraced more than half the leg. How many of those flags do you see actually play out? Not nearly as much. The 61.8 bounce is nice, but its PT would present would be way too close. So I guess I'll continue sitting on my hands. Yeah, ES is bullish. I can't really enter right now when it's chopping up like this. Pretty lame. Right now, my only hope is ES gets close to high of day, rejects, and then I can dip by that. Very similar to the first trade I took. That's really all I can do. Everything else is too low probability. You could enter NQ longs here, but the flag was, again, too low of odds for me to enter. Doesn't mean it's not going to go up, but it's going to go up in a way that I'm unable to statistically predict. So I will continue waiting. Right as I said that, I put in a huge selling wick and erased that candle. So I may have, if I wanted to enter there, I would have started this trade red and maybe even stopped out right away. But even if it does reject here, I don't really think I can enter. Yeah, it would have to fall a lot. So probably just gonna have to sit this out. Is this a nice of a trend line? Is this? Because I'm fairly bullish for it to get here. I just have no idea how it's gonna get there, when it's gonna get there. On top of it, we have almost a perfect trend line on NQ. What do we have here? Got this here. I got this nice trend line here too. Yeah, I can't. Like, I need it to drop a lot. This is really shitty price action today. I'm glad to be green, but I'm only green by a single trade. So I guess I'll just hang out for a while. If it breaks the upside, can't trade it. If it breaks the downside, can't trade it. If it breaks to the downside hard and then goes all the way up, then I can take longs. Or if it breaks to the downside hard, misses this low, bounces, then retraces that bounce, I could. But that's even pretty unlikely that I catch that because it would bounce too high, it would trigger me into longs. I was hanging on my phone till something interesting happens. It's a pretty lame session today. Was that a higher high on NQ? It was. Alex? Yeah. That could be a short on NQ. It really could be. Sucks I'm not bearish enough to do it, but I'll explain why. NQ ES has been sweeping higher highs, chopped up, invalidated most of the recent leg up, and NQ is weaker than ES. So essentially, you'd be entering an NQ short based on this ES chart, and it would be entered on this candle, and your P2 would be like here. I'm just not bearish enough to take that trade on the market in general. Yeah, I'm not bearish enough to take that trade. That is a potential trade that you could take. It's again, it's I'd rather not, because I mean, if I took shorts on that candle, I would have lost money every single time over the last hour and 20 minutes. So I don't want to keep guessing on when it's finally gonna break and run, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to keep guessing on that to happen. I want to wait for something really big to happen and then react to it. But this is a fairly solid trade. Also, I don't think NQ is going to maintain its weakness the whole way down. We'll see. I'll move it to the side and see. But it's really not bad, especially because it swept the side. It's not a bad trade at all. It's not likely enough for me to take. It's not in line with the bias that I have. Plus, like I said, I wanted to enter longs if this drops and then comes all the way back up. And if I enter shorts now, that kind of just craps all over that hypothesis and plan that I had set up. So, even if it, man, I think it's gonna come all the way back. It's looking like it's gonna come all the way back up. Am I willing to follow through with that hypothesis though? I don't know. And do I take ES or NQ? Because ES, it'd be like this trade here. ES has swept all the lows. I do like that. It swept all the lows. Um, or would I take NQ here? Well, the NQPT is further away than ES is. And here's the risk reward's pretty even. I make more money if NQ plays out, but ES has been stronger. So is ES more likely to play out? I wouldn't think so. I think I'd maybe rather take NQ. I don't know. What do you guys think? Realistically, I'd enter NQ like up here. Like I'd want that entire, pretty much that whole red candle invalidated. And then I'd enter it like this. Something like that. That's what I would do. See you later, Panama. Depends on the context, Chimken. Typically, chopping up is a bearish signal, but the longer it chops up, the more bullish it becomes slowly. Because it just means shorts keep invalidating, and eventually, if buyers are still willing to buy every dip as it goes higher, that's not very sustainable for continued oppression. Oh man. I don't know why I feel like I'm gonna wait all this time for one more trade and it's just gonna be red. All right, well, it's no longer anywhere close to my entry, so I'm gonna go back to hanging out on my phone until something interesting happens. I'm liking ES, guys. I think I may take it. We'll see how this candle closes. If the candle closes pretty much invalidating most of the big red one, I think I'm going to enter. It looks like ES is strong again. You know, it did sweep this low. Yeah. Yeah, it is just stronger than NQ. I think I like it enough to take it. And you could count this as a nice trendline retest. I think it has good enough odds for me to take it. So we'll see. We'll see how this candle closes. If this candle closes bullish enough, I'm able to enter. Which I need the entire thing. I need the whole selling wick on. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to wait another candle. But I think ES is gonna have the higher chance of getting to PT. All right, can't enter this candle. I have to wait one full next candle. So the next candle's got to close bullish. It looks like NQ may be flipping stronger. Did flip a little bit stronger, but it's kind of looking like bearish consolidation now. I'm bearish for it to make a lower low. I'm not really bearish for it to continue. I can't tell. That could have just been a rising wedge retest. Um, but that first leg down was only 2 candles, and this consolidation is going on 7 candles. Yeah, like 5, 6 candles. So we will see. But that's why we let our candles close right there. That is why. It does look like NQ stronger. All right, well, back to being on my phone. I have no trades again. It's interesting. It seems like ES's bounces are starting to be a bit bigger than NQ, but it's also its drops are seem to be bigger than NQ's. But now we're chopping. Now we have a falling wedge here. A reversal trade wouldn't be terrible here. Like entering longs right now with a super tight stop loss. I think it's got maybe a 35% win rate. Like I think it has like a 30-ish% odds of playing out, but the PT is so far away. There you go. 30% chance of playing out in my mind. 3.5 risk to reward. 5.3 if you go all the way here. I don't think it's bad. I didn't come here for a reversal trade though, so I gotta wait until it gets all the way up to here. Now it's dipped enough. It's dipped to where I said it was. It didn't dip the way I wanted it to. And it is kind of risky because it could be like a weird head and shoulders. I don't know. But I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up taking this long trade here for this high. I think this is probably the trade that I'm going to enter. If I lose this trade, I'm going to be green on the day by like a fraction of a green trade. If I win this trade, then I'll be green on the day by two big green trades. That's why I'm thinking it's gonna happen. So I'm gonna wait. This candle invalidates. I'm gonna take the chance because it's invalidated enough. Like it's pulled back enough, swept enough buy side. It's held a 38.2% fib, which I love. And this candle is big enough to get me in. It did not enter. That candle was big. It was close to my entry. My finger is on the trigger to enter. It's not getting that extra oomph. All right, last 10 seconds. This candle closes pretty much at my entry. I'm just going to take entry. That's 10 seconds. No. All right. If the candle opens green, I'm probably just going to enter. If it opens green and validates the entire red candle, I'll hop in. Almost. I didn't quite catch it. I'll wait for the candle to close. It's all right if my restore goes down by just a little bit if I get a later entry. This candle closes like this, I'm in. The PT's far away. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather not try to catch it like right as it, right when because I could have entered right before that pop. So I was gonna enter if most of the red candle, if the red candle invalidates, it didn't quite happen, or it did happen, but I didn't quite enter. But I'm able to enter now. So there's the last 10 seconds. It did not fill me. It only filled. Oh wait, yeah, it did. There we go. Now it filled me. Ew, it got a selling wick right after I filled. That's unfortunate, but that's a trade. Let's see what it wants to do. Yeah, did everything I needed it to. Pulled all the way back to the 38.2% fib, which is where I wanted it to pull back. Invalidated most of the drop. It's been chopping down. Yes, swept everything. It's good enough to enter. It's a fine trade. I wouldn't say it has the highest odds. I give it a. I don't know what the odds are, but it's acceptable. It's good enough to where I can take it. So let's see if the third hour wants to bless me with a range break. Document this. Good strength analysis too. NQ flip stronger there. That was easy to tell on this candle here. 946 candle. 946 candle my time, 1146. The strength flip happened there. All right, well, at least it's a great entry, right? I can move my stop up just a little bit. Not going to hurt the odds at all of stopping out. Oh, it's already almost at that pivot. That pivot's a huge resistance. That's going to be a big deal. Are we going to be able to get through that? If it pulls back, I want it to happen before this pivot. I'm going to mark it out. When we hit the pivot, I'm going to move my stop up a little bit more. This is a good place to it's an okay place to put a break-even stop, but for me, my stop is just too tight. That's just a bit too tight. So I'll be out if the entire big green candle invalidates. 1.8 risk to reward. If I lose this trade, it'll be my last one, but it'll still be a very, very, very small green day, which I would consider pretty good for this terrible price action. I mean, it's pretty much chopped the entire time. PT is a little bit too close. You could wait to sell at ES new high of day, but ES has been weaker, and I still had the hypothesis that ES is somewhat likely to pull back before high of day, so I'd rather not. I think NQ is probably going to pull back before it even gets to this PT. Doesn't look like it at the moment, but that's just me being a pessimist. Regardless of what happens, this was a great trade, guys. Great entry, great patience, great everything. You know, the two losses that I had, I couldn't really avoid because the chop hasn't really started yet. You know what I mean? It was in the middle of the range, but so was the last trade. But once I identified the chop, we played it fairly well, and we had good patience there. Let's see if it can get the rest of the way to the PT. That is pretty high volume. It's a big candle, so it's not terrible, but that is an indicator of a pullback. It's only not terrible because the candle is huge, but that's still a bearish indicator there, that volume spike. It would have been a lot more bullish if the second big green candle had less volume than the first one. What happened to Discord? Oh, what did happen to Discord? I don't know. Get this horrid music off. I don't know what happened. Yeah, let me disconnect again. I just now noticed it. I have no idea what happened. I genuinely have. I didn't do anything. Someone with perms accidentally ended the event. No idea. Whatever. At least we're on YouTube too, right? I was wondering in chat, like, oh, here's the YouTube stream as well. Weird. Very weird, but see how NQ's weaker now? That volume was bearish. But ES looks like it's going to get to high day, and I'd hope that they get there around the same time. ES, this PT was this far. Yeah, made more money on NQ if NQ gets the PT than I would if I took ES. By a little bit. Yeah, a little bit more money on NQ if they both get to PT. It's Viper's fault. Everyone blame Viper. That is a good thing I am live on YouTube. Because it just booted everyone. Maybe I should change that. Maybe more people should not. Even though it's very few people have perms to end an event, I feel like no one should probably have that. I don't know, it's not a big deal. So here's the ES pull. I predicted ES pullback before high of day. Here it may start, and it could be a big one. So I'm kind of preparing, but it looks like NQ flipping strong again. That's bullish consolidation on NQ. Doesn't mean it's going to break to the upside, but that is bullish right there. Maybe it's a hacker from last week. Definitely not. Definitely not. Such a weirdo. He is such a weirdo. Okay, it was bullish. It broke to the upside, but then it got a selling wick, so. Actually, this selling wick happened pretty early into the candle. It could easily invalidate by the end of the candle. Yeah, it's already invalidating. I thought that was like the end of the candle where it did that. Able to move my stop loss up a bit more. Reduces the odds of, or increases the odds of stopping out by 0. If we come all the way back down, we're going for this low. I could probably even sneak away with this. Something like that. And he almost got there, but there's a lot of sellers in here. Yeah, still wants to pull back, it looks like. This is another pullback signal. On Enki wants to pull back. I'm hoping it does it after it sweeps this, but it looks like it wants to go down right now. Let's see how this candle closes. Blackhawk, it ended for some reason. I have no idea why it ended. It ended, and then I restarted it, but the YouTube live is intact. Well, told you guys I wanted to come down. Let's see how far down it goes. So that's a bearish drop. That is a bearish drop. However, if that drop invalidates, my PT is too close. It's going to go to this upper supply. Does not look like that's going to invalidate, though. That looks pretty bearish. Looks like NQ flipped weaker than ES there. It's too early into this candle to say this candle's going to hold, but if this candle holds, that's bullish, man. Like, you can put your PT all the way up at this upper supply. I'm not going to. I don't have a need for it. And this price action today has me paired. Like, every single every single sell side pivot that we've had, we've swept and reversed. Like, every one, except this one here. So we already missed one. Oh my lord, that is bullish. Yeah, my PT is too close. That's even more shorts to squeeze out. This is what happened on Friday's big reversal trade where I just trailed my stop the whole way up. That's what happened. Things like that kept happening. That's pretty bullish. Unless it just magically goes away, then that would be bearish, but that looks pretty good. I'm expecting it to go to the upper supply. If you want to extend your PT, you can. I didn't. I sold it, took profits. It's fine. It's not a big deal. And again, today hasn't been the most trendy day, but fully expecting it to get to that supply cluster just above. But ES also just now got to high of day. That's just a good sell point regardless. I can totally see a continued run, but that's just a good sell point. Like, you got pivots everywhere. The next pivot's pretty far. The only other good PT is the supply cluster, but I'd rather just roll with the pivots. Type in chat if you guys made money from that trade. And type in chat if you guys are green from this session. It ended up being a pretty good session. I couldn't really help, but just like this morning, the hypotheses were good. I was bullish for whatever. What was it? Like this to break on, or this to break on ES. It ended up happening, just needed to stop out first. It wasn't ready. And that is a gorgeous PT. Still expecting it to continue up, but that is a bearish liquidity sweep. That's actually a reversal trade. That's a short entry. I'm not taking it though. I'm done trading. That's a good PT. Very good PT. Everything aligned. ES hit high of day at the same time that hit, and NQ flipped weak. So I'm green on the day by 2 big green trades. Very happy. Which is good because I only had 3 green trades and 2 red trades, but I'm green by 2 big green trades. That's good risk to reward. That is a perfect psychology day. Beautiful. Now, all the trades weren't 5 out of 5 psych. 2 of them were 4, but as far as the actions, it was good psych. And I wasn't tempted to break any rules today either, so. What a good day. Type in chat if you guys are green. I'll take a screenshot, bully people in announcements for not being here. For a very choppy day, that's really good analysis. Like, very good analysis. We even called it when I was in this trade. When I was in this trade here, I said I didn't want to re-enter unless we came all the way down, swept this low, then came back up. And of course, that's exactly what happened. And once that happened, then it went up. So if you watch back the recording of this, we predicted a lot of things or called a lot of things that were possible that did happen. And even though a lot of them I didn't really want to get in, this one I did. We executed flawlessly. It was a good day. Nice job, Blackhawk. That's awesome. Type in chat if you guys are green or red. I got to take the screenshot. We only have, in Discord, we have half the chat full right now. You guys have been slacking lately on this. Also, react to the promo center deal. I'm drawing in 1 hour. I also have to send another message because I guess they want more attention. So I'm going to send another promo center message. Don't worry about that one. Only react to the first one. But they want me to hype up the stock a little bit more. Penny stock people. You got to love them. To be fair, my promo center post, it was at $1.90 and went all the way up to $2. Wow. It doesn't matter though. I don't enter on. Some of them do pretty good. They genuinely do. What was the last one? The last one was SVRE, and then the one that was Arrow. How's Arrow doing? Not very good. It had a big run though. Yeah, it had a very big run for days after I posted it. So, anyways, I gotta post that message. And yeah, I guess I'm still leaning fairly bullish for ES to like break all this supply, but it's just chopping up. It's not like I'm slightly bullish, but only because the trend is bullish. I'm not seeing a ton of bullish indicators. That's pretty much it. All right, but looks like you guys in the YouTube did well or good as well. So I'm glad to see that. Yeah, it was a good day. Good site, good day today. Happy with it. Arrow Tyne International. Exactly, Blackhawk. Disable streamer mode. There we go. Do you ever hype up crypto? I've called out one crypto in this server, and I told people to buy Hex Coin. And I'm glad some of you guys took my advice because I didn't. I didn't buy crypto. I'm just not a crypto. I've been hyper focused on doing one thing, and that's it. Of course, missed out on a lot of money, but I didn't miss out on a lot of skill. But Ryo Cushion is a millionaire. He's active in this server. He's a millionaire in this server because he bought Hex. He's one of the few people that actually did. Yeah, like 30x or something in his portfolio is awesome. More than that. I think it was a lot more than 30x. I don't know what it was, but it was great. But otherwise, no, I don't really participate. It just, I'm focused on one thing, and that is you guys. You guys are my big honestly, you guys are a bigger focus than myself. Getting you guys profitable and then just reinforcing this skill set that I have and the psych that I have to last me my entire life. Doesn't matter what happens, doesn't matter what happens in the world. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq will always be around. And I'll probably start trading normal stocks again, maybe just swings, just capitalizing on opportunities in maybe a year or so. I have fairly good win rate with swings. I think it's like 80%. But once my stuff is reinforced enough, and I have different goals right now that I'm attacking, so I haven't been too involved in crypto and other things. Do I have that screenshot? I don't have that screenshot. Let's take that screenshot. Make an Aurora coin. Yeah, if a Discord server makes a coin, do not buy it. Now, if I made a coin, I wouldn't buy it anyways, just because I don't think it would really go anywhere. I wouldn't sell it. That wouldn't happen. But yeah, if a Discord makes a coin, that is that speaks a lot about how the who the owners are. There's a lot of things that I could do to chase money, like, I could just flex things on social media and I'll just blow up, but unfortunately not who I am. It's too cringy to me. Okay, are my screenshots just not appearing in my files today? What's going on here? Screenshots just aren't working today. I can't take screenshots. What a shame. Hello? My screenshots are not updating to my files. Is it my images for some reason? I don't know what is going on. Well, your guys' green, you guys saying green in chat's in vain. My screenshots just aren't going to my files for some reason. They'll probably show up in like an hour. I don't know why. So let me just send this announcement. And remember, I'm in the free stage, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, premium. As far as this futures deal. Yeah, not a bad day. I mean, even the trades I lost, my hypothesis ended up being correct. So really good day. And we're still trending up. So, but all right, that's it for me. What I'm gonna do is, yeah, in just under an hour we'll do the giveaway. I gotta send another promo and center announcement, but it's fine. I'll do that. But the one with all the reactions, you reacting to that enters you. We'll spin the wheel 3 times in an hour, and we'll spin the wheel 3 more times right at market close before we do our trade recap and stuff. And then I may have another giveaway to do later this week. So we will see. But all right, you guys have a blessed rest of your day. Congrats on the gains if you made them. Congrats on having good discipline if you did. If you didn't, fix that shit. It is going to ruin your life. Fix it. And then good luck if you continue trading. I will see you guys in the Discord we'll do the giveaway in an hour, but I'll see you guys in voice in 4 hours today. I don't think we have anything going on before. I'm doing the backtesting private for now. My schedule's a bit too busy, especially today. So I'll see you guys for the trade review. The trade reviews will actually get posted to YouTube today. Mark my words, they will. And I'll get back on that grind. So for those of you that can't attend live or in other servers, it doesn't matter. Me reviewing my options trades and my futures trades will be back on my YouTube consistently. And it'll be beneficial to everyone. But all right, I'll see you guys later. If you guys need anything, just reach out in DMs. My DMs are full. Remember what I said? I'm gonna, all you guys that I owe money from the previous giveaways and stuff. I'll get you guys paid here in a bit. Ping me if I don't. Just bully me. I'll remember eventually. And yeah, for everyone else that's waiting on a DM, I'll catch up on them today. But all right, you guys have a blessed rest of your day. I'll see you guys later.